Happy Vlogmas, book friends, and welcome to the holiday edition of A Cuppa and a Chat. I'm Jen, and welcome to my holiday reading life. If this is your first time watching one of my Cuppa and a Chat videos, this is really just an informal, chatty type video where I curl up on my chaise lounge under a cozy blanket and we just talk about all the cozy things. So what I have in store for you today is all of the cozy craftiness that I am planning to do in December. It's not a lot, but it's very cozy, I think. And then I actually have a book haul to share with you. And of course, I have my cuppa. I'm drinking my usual decaf Yorkshire tea with a little splash of milk in my lovely Joyeux Noël mug. This mug is from Anthropologie from a few years ago. I'm not sure if they still have these anymore. If they do, there were a few different styles, and I will link them if they're still available, but I am not sure that they are. But if you're looking for fun mugs and holiday mugs, Anthropologie is a lovely place to look. They have a lot of really unique pieces, and I've gotten quite a few mugs from them. So I'm going to take a quick sip of this and then we are going to get into all the coziness. First up, I thought I would share the holiday puzzle that I'm planning to work on in December, and we will see if I get this done in December. Hopefully I will. It is quite large, and well, let me show it to you first and then I will talk a little bit about it. But I have this, sorry, pieces are still in here. This is a panoramic puzzle, and this is, what is this called? Holiday at the Seaside. It's beautiful. I'm thinking it might be kind of hard though, because the colors they all sort of blend together, and I always find when there aren't a lot of distinct colors in puzzles, it makes it, even more challenging. So hopefully I'm up for that this month. But I didn't realize, I got this for Christmas last year, and I didn't realize until I went to start setting it up that it is bigger than my puzzle mat. So it's completed size. Where's the completed size? It's on here somewhere. There it is. It's 39 inches long by 13 inches tall. And my puzzle mat is 36 inches wide. So I might try to do it on the diagonal. I will show you a little video of my puzzle mat, and I have some of the pieces I've been working on. I always like to start with the edge. Does anyone else start with the edges of their puzzle first and get the edge all completed and then fill in the middle? That's how I do it. So I've been pulling out the edge pieces, but I'll show you what my puzzle mat looks like. If it's not going to work diagonally, I do have these felt containers that you can put the puzzle pieces in, but they're really flat. And I think maybe if I just sit one next to the puzzle mat, that I can just extend the last few inches of the puzzle off onto that. Fingers crossed this works. My puzzle might be a little wonky. I don't know. Wish me luck. This is a very big puzzle to do in December. Probably won't finish it till after Christmas, but that's fine. I love the week between Christmas and New Year's because it's so mellow and low key. My husband always takes the week off from work. Obviously my son is off from school. I am going to take a little, I'll still be having videos go out, but I'm going to take a little break from actually working on videos that week so that I can just relax and be with my family. So we'll probably get in some good puzzle time during that week. So that is my first little holiday fun, crafty kind of hobby thing I'm going to be doing. And I do like to do puzzles and listen to audiobooks. So I am hoping to get through a good chunk of my holiday audiobooks while doing my puzzle. And then the other thing, of course, the main craft that I do is cross stitch. So I pulled out my big cross stitch bin. I've had this bin, you guys, since college, I believe. I've kept my cross stitch things in here ever since then. Good old Rubbermaid, holding up well over the years. So, oh my gosh, I forgot I had this. So I have a lot of Christmas cross stitch patterns and different things in here. But as soon as I opened this box up, I remembered that I had purchased this, and yes, I'm going to do this. This is so cute. Look at this. This is Hometown Holiday, the bookstore. I mean, right? This is the one I have to do, isn't it? Okay. The question will be, do I have all of the threads that I need to start this? I have 2 big boxes of embroidery thread. This is all of my embroidery thread other than what I currently have out that I'm using on the projects I currently have on the go. You don't need that many. So of the 8 colors that I need, I found 3 in my boxes so far. I think I have ecru also. I think that might be down in with my current projects that I'm working on, and maybe I have 1 or 2 of the other ones down there. I'll have to look. Maybe I have more, but hopefully this is enough to at least get me started. But I may have to make a trip to Michael's to see if I can get the rest of the colors that I need. But very excited. Where did I put that? I'm here with that. What could be better than a little bookstore, holiday bookstore cross stitch for the holiday season? I also have this cute little Ding Dong Merrily on High. So adorable. This Little House Needleworks. So very cute. I also have this little kitty cottage sampler. I'm gonna have to make that one. I should get out the fabric. I'm gonna for this too. I think this piece will be big enough. They have it done on linen, but 1, I don't have any linen, and 2, I've never stitched on linen before, and I'm not feeling up for it right now. So I'm gonna do it on regular Aida cloth. This is 14 count, so which I think is 14 squares per inch, something like that. Anyway, that is what I'm going to use because that is what I have. Time for a little tea break. Also, I am addicted to these little candy covered chocolate balls. Oh my goodness, they're so good. I shouldn't have them sitting here because I just keep eating them. Now, I'm going to share with you my book haul. Actually, I have a few book hauls. Well, 2 big book hauls and then a 1 book that was gifted to me that I'm going to share with you as well. But I will start off with, I got this book haul a while ago now and I haven't had a chance to share it. So I thought that I would. I learned about this independent publisher through my friend Susan, who is part of my Gilded Age Buddy Read group. This publisher is called Quite Literally Books, and look at this adorable tote bag that I got with my order. They were having a little special where if you bought a bundle of 3 books, then you got a tote bag with it. I mean, Quite Literally Books. Love it. Love it so, so much. And the little blurb about the publisher says, "We are Quite Literally Books, a small heritage press dedicated to the books that we can't put down. We are 2 lifelong friends who grew up in the care of our local library and have been recommending books to one another and talking about them since we were 12. We are devoted to discovering and reissuing ought-to-be-in-print books by American women authors and occasionally others who have been shelved for far too long." And so, like I said, they were having a special on 3 of their books. They only have, I think there's only 6 books that they have published so far, or republished. And so I purchased the bundle of books 4, 5, and 6. So book number 4 is Herland by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. And Charlotte Perkins Gilman is most famous for The Yellow Wallpaper. And I think this is sort of a bit of a like dystopian novel. A little bit outside of my normal comfort zone, but I think it sounds really interesting. It's about a women-led world. So some manly explorers drop from the sky into a 2,000-year-old thriving utopia of women. And this is what happens after that. So find out. Has anyone read this? Please tell me if you know anything about it, but it sounds fascinating. And then book number 5 that they've published is Who Would Have Thought It by Maria Amparo Ruiz de Burton. And again, I don't really know much about any of these. It says, on the eve of the Civil War, Dr. Norval returns from his travels out west with big surprises in tow. Lola, a 10-year-old orphan entrusted to his keeping, and her immense fortune. In no time, the pious, upstanding Norvals are lusting for Lola's riches in a most unbiblical way, while their reaction to dark-skinned Lola herself reveals that their abolitionist beliefs don't run even skin deep. It's a uniquely American conundrum, and the Norvals are facile manipulators of their moral code when it's challenged, almost quite literally, in their own backyard. So it sounds like this is a sweeping satire full of rogues and rogue alliances, cackling profiteers, pious charlatans, and grave iconoclasts. So the author was the first known Mexican-American author to write for English-speaking audiences. Born to Mexican aristocracy, she later became an American political socialite. Through her two pseudonymously published novels and larger body of work, she was a sharp critic of America's colonialism, elite culture, and the treatment of the Californio community. Very, very intrigued by this. This is a chunkster. This clocks in at 450 pages. So we shall see about that one. And then the final book, book number 6, is The Little Dinner by Christine Terhune Herrick. I just love their covers on these. They're so beautiful. It says, can a 19th century Martha Stewart ensure that your next backyard barbecue or potluck is the talk of the town in a good way? If you're a host with large desires and small purse, The Little Dinner is your essential guide to sidestepping a badly orchestrated dinner party. Learn how to avoid the most egregious errors like serving your claret too cold, Keats got it wrong, timing the sorbet improperly, make sure it comes after the roast but before the game, or inviting too many dull people to your table, just please don't. Part how-to, part social commentary, this little volume of forgotten recipes is quite literally laugh out loud funny in the most unexpected ways. It's a timeless reminder that no matter your budget, sharing good food with good company is never out of date. So yes, sounds like a bit of a, almost kind of a food memoir. So 3 very different books, a little bit different than what I normally read, but sometimes I do like to read books that are outside of the box and outside of my normal comfort zone. And I am really interested in reading more American women authors, especially those that have been a bit forgotten or overlooked. And so quite literally books is very, very intriguing to me. And I'm very curious to see what else they're going to publish in the future. So, and if you're curious, their other 3 books that they've published are The Homemaker by Dorothy Canfield Fisher, which I already have a Persephone edition of. And then number 2 is Plum Bun by Jessie Redmond Fawcett. And number 3 is The Pink House by Nelia Gardner White. I really want to get The Pink House because that sounds fantastic. And my friend Susan read it and she said it was wonderful. Very much looking forward to trying some quite literally books titles in 2026. And then, like I said, I have a little holiday book haul. I ordered some books from Blackwell's because 'tis the season. So actually the whole reason I went on to Blackwell's was to buy this first book. And then I started looking around and then I ended up with a bunch of other books in my cart. So that's just what happens, right? We all understand that. But this book that I went looking for was The Christmas Tree That Loved to Dance by Miranda Hart. Illustrations by Lucy Claire Dunbar. This is a tall tale. This is just a sweet little story set in wintry England about Joan and her small ginger poodle Jessie. They set out on an evening stroll around the neighborhood, and then Joan trips over a discarded Christmas tree, and suddenly she hears a voice say, "I am so, so sorry." And nobody's around. Joan double checks, and it turns out that the Christmas tree was talking to her. And so we go from there. I've already read the first few pages and I can see I'm going to just whip right through this, but yes, so The Christmas Tree That Loved to Dance. I think if you need something just lovely and charming in your holiday reading, this might be a good one to pick up. And I think this would also make an excellent gift. It's not a children's book, even though it's illustrated. It's definitely for adults, but so beautiful. Very excited to have this one. And then, like I said, some other books just somehow flew into my cart and made their way into my home. And there we have it. So next up is a holiday mystery, and this is The Christmas Clue by Nicola Upson. And I've read a few Nicola Upson mysteries. She has a mystery series that is, or that features Josephine Tay as the sleuth. So she's the character in the book. And I've read, I think the first 2 or 3 in that series. Very much enjoyed them. So I thought I would give this holiday mystery, which I believe is a standalone. This is Christmas Eve, 1943. Anthony and Elva Pratt arrive in a snowy English village to run a murder mystery game and instead discover a real murder. Well, that's all I need to know. I am here for it. Murder mystery game, a real murder, The Christmas Clue. I love this cover. Yes, very much looking forward to this one. It's not very long, so hopefully I will get to it this holiday season. And then, of course, because it is the 250th birthday of Jane Austen this month, I had to get a little something Jane Austen for December. And so I picked up Jane Austen's Christmas. This is the festive season in Georgian England, edited by Maria Hubert. And it says, Christmas comes up time and time again in Jane Austen's books. From childish chaos and persuasion to fraught festivities in Northanger Abbey, join Christmas historian Maria Hubert on a delightful meander through Georgian Christmases, both fact and fiction. Eavesdrop on Austen family letters, immerse yourself in prose, drama, and poetry from Jane and her contemporaries, or use the recipes to cook exemplary vegetables for your own Regency Christmas. Jane Austen's Christmas is essential reading for Austenites' long winter nights. Yes. I am here for this. I'm going to put this on my bedside table and just read a little bit from it each night. That sounds lovely. Excited for this one. And again, another beautiful, beautiful book. And then the final holiday book from my Blackwell's order, I decided to pick up Jolly Festive Jeeves. Of course, this is seasonal short stories by P.G. Wodehouse, introduction by Kathy Retzenbrink, and I really love Kathy Retzenbrink's memoir, bookish memoir called Dear Reader, which if you've never read that, it is fabulous. I highly recommend it. But who doesn't want more Jeeves and Worcester in their holiday season? These are actually like stories you can read the year round, and it's broken up by month. So there are actually 13 joyful tales alive with devilish schemes, romantic escapades, and unforgettable characters for comfort and delight all year round. So you can start it in December and then read it all through the year. So each story is listed under one of the months of the year. So it starts in December, ends in December. So I may just read this all through 2026 and just read a Jeeves Worcester story every month. That sounds lovely. So I will start this month and next December. Perfect. Yes, I am here for this. This sounds absolutely wonderful. It'll be funny having like a holiday looking book on my nightstand all year round though. So that is my Blackwell's order. And then in the mail the other day, my lovely, lovely friend Jacqueline. Jacqueline, you spoil me too much, but she sent me a book to celebrate my channel hitting 10,000 subscribers. She sent me Crook o' Loon, which is a Lancashire mystery by E.C.R. Lorac, and I want to read more E.C.R. Lorac, so I am very, very excited for this one. Thank you, Jacqueline, so much. And this says, it all began up at High Gimmerdale with the sheep stealing, a hateful act in the shepherding fells above the bend in the Loon River, the Crook o' Loon. Then came the fire at Aikengill House, and with the leaping of the flames, death, disorder, and dangerous gossip came to the quiet moorland. Visiting his friends, the Hoggets, while searching for some farmland to buy up ahead of his retirement, Chief Inspector Robert MacDonald's trip becomes a busman's holiday when he is drawn to investigate the deadly blaze and the deep-rooted motives behind the rising spate of crimes. Yes, I have heard that the Inspector MacDonald books by E.C.R. Lorac are really, really good, and so I'm very much looking forward to this one. Look at that beautiful cover. Just gorgeous. Love that so much. So very excited to have another British Library crime classics for my collection, and yes, can't wait to get to this one. That is going to do it for this cozy cuppa and a chat. A little bit of crafts, a little bit of books, a hot cup of tea. What could be better than that? I hope you enjoyed this cozy bookish chit chat, and I would love to chat with you in the comments about anything that I shared here today. Puzzles, cross stitch, books, tea. Let's talk about all of the cozy things down in the comments below. Thank you so, so much for being here. And if you are here, but you don't have anything you'd like to add, but you'd like to leave me a comment, because comments really do help my channel, why don't you leave me a cuppa or a teapot and something holiday, a holiday emoji, a little Christmas tree like the one over there. That would be lovely. I would love to see those in the comments. They really do help my channel. If you wanted to hype this video as well, that would be lovely also. I so appreciate that. And if you want to see more from me this Vlogmas and beyond, hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications. I would love to have you join us here in my cozy community. Thank you so, so much for watching, for all your lovely comments, for being just such a wonderful community. I am so happy you're here, and I'll be back tomorrow with another Vlogmas video. And until then, happy reading and happy holidays. Bye!